He's got a decent amount of personnel to pick from. He's changed the shape of the team. He is a talented player, there's no doubt about that, but Tuchel sees him as a player who can affect the game from the bench. He prefers Hudson-Odoi at wing-back. You know, none of these guys are wing-backs, but he's played Hudson-Odoi at wing-back. You're then looking at where else could Pulisic play, and it would have to be one of those two positions behind the striker, those narrow, wider players that Tuchel employs or deploys to let the wing-backs get forward. So, you know, at the end of the day, Thomas Tuchel doesn't have to answer to anybody at the moment because Chelsea are on a pretty good run. The team's been performing well. And as he said himself in the interview, welcome to the real world at a big club in London. And, you know, I'm sure he's had that conversation with the young man himself. Whether he accepts it or not, I don't know.
We've got Aage Fjortoft still with us, Shaka Hislop as well, and Stewart Robson joining the program. Jan, I'll start with you. What do you make of what Tuchel is saying about Pulisic? Do you see a role for him at this club moving forward?
Absolutely, and I think that Tuchel is still in a stage where he's looking at weaknesses and strengths of his new team, and obviously he knows about Pulisic because he had him at Dortmund. I'm 100% sure that he sat him down, talked with him. I know all about you, Christian. You are in my plan. Just be ready. I have to look at other players too. And as Craig said, one of his disadvantages and advantages is very good when he comes up from the bench. And if you have a look in the Premier League now, Chelsea got one of the best squads around. So it's a tough there. And Christian Pulisic, you got to be ready. This is to be at a top club. He should be happy. He's lucky that he got a coach that had him at Dortmund, and I see Pulisic have a future at the Chelsea Football Club. It's all up to him and any other young players at this club because Chelsea are going places, Thomas Tuchel. Great signing for the club.
Robbo, do you agree? Should Christian Pulisic be content to come off the bench at Chelsea?
Well, he has to be content at the moment. Remember, we take it back a year ago or a year and a half ago, he wasn't getting in Lampard's team. We were having the same conversation. You know, should he move on because Lampard's not playing him? And then suddenly he started to play well. He got his chance in the team and he was their best player come the end of the season and got injured in the cup final. Then he was injured at the start of the season. He's got to play well in training every day. And when he does come on, he's got to say to the manager, look, I'm better than the players that are out there at the moment. And Craig's right. They've changed the shape of the team. And at the moment, there's not too many places he can play. So I think he's just got to stick at it. But I'm not sure that Thomas Tuchel fancies him that much at the moment. That's why he's not playing him.
Shaka, do you see his future at Chelsea or perhaps somewhere else? Just this week he's been linked to Manchester United, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, all supposedly keen to acquire the American.
Well, Christian Pulisic is an incredibly talented player, and so you understand the link with other clubs, especially if he doesn't feature in Thomas Tuchel's starting lineup sometime soon. But I'm with Robbo. I think Pulisic's future was far more uncertain under Frank Lampard, and he finally got his opportunity, proved his worth to that team, and now Tuchel comes in. He's changed his shape, but more to the point, he's changed personnel as well, and relying on some of the more experienced players. I think Pulisic gets his chance, and when he does, he takes it. If I'm advising him, I'm in no panic at all about his standing at Stamford Bridge. Listen, while other clubs like Bayern Munich and Manchester United are interested, that always kind of piques your interest in them. But I'm not panicking and looking desperately for the exit door.
Jan, you agree about the Bayern interest? I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, I'm just shaking our heads of a young player who's going for Dortmund to Chelsea. This is a tough game. So if you can't get into the Chelsea team, you move to Bayern. Should we have the same conversation about Pulisic at Bayern? If he goes to Liverpool, should we have the same conversation about Liverpool? He should work hard. He's lucky. He's got a manager who knows him, who will know about his strengths and his weaknesses, and he should fight for his places. Patience is all about being at a top club. He's still a young player, and he should calm down, or say it another way, we should calm down, because I think Pulisic would probably be the most calm of them all because he had that conversation with Tuchel already.
Who's asked this question anyway? I'm sure Thomas Tuchel turned up at his press conference thinking, we're unbeaten here, and I've got a little bit of a run going, and somebody says, why is Christian Pulisic not in the team? He might as well say, well, because I'm not picking him. and we're winning. And we moved into the top 4 and we're on a run and we're keeping lots of clean sheets. And as a young man...
What would you do if you were in Pulisic's shoes? He's 22 years old. He's not playing under the new manager. Would you want out?
Look,
or you stick and fight?
No, I'm fighting because in 12 months' time, so we get to the end of the season, you sit down, you have a rethink about it. 6 months into next season, if he's still coming off the bench for 10 minutes every game, it's not a place for him to be. He has to look at alternatives. But at the moment, the perception that Christian Pulisic and one or two others are going to walk into some of these big clubs, right, whose managers are under severe pressure because of the ownership, because of the history of sacking managers, they need to get results. The perception that you're going to walk in there because you have a talent and just play every week, it's an 18 to 20 man squad these days. It's no longer a game of 1 to 11, right? No longer a game. And a manager like Thomas Tuchel comes in, the expectations are that they'll get in top 4 this year and then they'll push for the title next year. Whether people think that's right or not, I don't care. That's the expectation from the ownership. And you have to accept that as a player, that when you get your chance, you've got to take it, you've got to fight for it, but you're not guaranteed to be playing in these top teams, particularly in England.
Robbo, it doesn't sound like you think Tuchel quite fancies Pulisic. Do you think that his future is at Chelsea, or should he leave?
No, of course he's got to stay and fight for his place, because the only time he's going to get game time week in, week out is if he goes and joins West Ham, or he goes and joins an Arsenal at the moment, or he joins Aston Villa. And he's not going to do that because he'd have to take a massive pay drop. And the players, and Jan's absolutely right, if he goes to Bayern Munich, he's not going to get in their team every week. They've got Kingsley Coman down one side, Gnabry down the other. If you go to Manchester United, Greenwood and Rashford, is he going to get in their team every week? No, he's not. He's got to fight for his place at Chelsea and make sure that Thomas Tuchel likes him.
Craig, you know who's asking this question? The good people at Futbol Americas. New show on ESPN. You haven't been watching?
What? No.
You didn't get the memo?
No, even
me and her.
Well,
it's your
to be
two
frank with you,
favorites.
even if you sent me the memo 10 times a day, I wouldn't be watching.
You can catch it Monday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, live on ESPN Plus, covering all things CONCACAF.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.